we're going to have KOPN earnings. Not the best. Now, KOPN is a nice swing. I don't know how confident I am for KOPN for a long term. I mean, it's not, I don't know. They do some things. They have been making moves. They certainly have been making moves this year. Okay, wait. If we look, total revenue 10.5, reflecting a slight increase from previous year. 7.6 million, representing 83% of net product revenues. Decrease from 95%. Reduce excess and obsolete reserve. You could say they're doing things smart, right? And they make those optical industrial optical glasses. Well, not glasses, like lenses. So their lenses can be used for like night vision goggles, also though industrial, medical, and even maybe consumer. And then of course you got the defense, right? Which they do have an Army contract. Now, what makes KOPN tricky is they don't have any Palantir partnership. And in fact, they were competing with Palantir and they won that one contract, but it wasn't too big, but still. So I don't know. And they're doing more things with the 3D AOI market. And you could say if they start to do more things in AI, wait, because I read something this one, the AI-enabled neuro display. So the GOP is working on a bill, and the new bill is basically going to like tell AI they can do whatever they want. So they're a provider in specific optical solutions and high-performance micro displays. This, I don't know. I like I said, small stake in KOPN, but I really think they could have some promising stuff to do, especially with no AI regulation from the government. All of these deals happening in the Middle East with our Arab monarch partners, that all exciting for KOPN. Another one that I think could be exciting for is GEVO. So GEVO had this old, I wouldn't call it old, but it hasn't really started yet. GEVO Qatar. They do have an interest, but this fuel agreement is supposed to begin in 2028, but I'm wondering, maybe GEVO gets something from one of these monarchs, because Qatar does seem to like GEVO. And GEVO's earnings, they did pretty well. 29.11, beating estimates of 19 million. That's not, people don't care about this. Like, I think that's big. Expected substantial growth through 2025. Low carbon ethanol and carbon capture assets expected to generate 30 to 60 million annual. And that, well, I don't know if anyone cares about carbon credit scores anymore, but they're still making the fuel, right? The sustainable fuel. And Chris Wright says, any energy is good energy. Projected to produce 400,000, contributing 9 to 18 million. So that's one thing. And then that should be the other revenue. And man, oh man, it doesn't say anything about this stupid Department of Energy loan. If they don't get the Department of Energy loan, which they were granted under Biden, and we already know that, oh man. See, well, wait a minute. Backed by Department of Energy loan. I don't know if, we have not heard about it, and I don't know, but I'm hoping they're doing okay. That we'll have a slow rise. Without the Department of Energy loan, they're going to have a slower rise for sure. But maybe they get something. Maybe they get something from the monarchs. I think it could happen. And you still have KULR's earnings, which are going to be Wednesday. Now, if you take these penny stocks for examples, because we had PRSO, they had promising earnings, then they're doing some sell-offs. Well, despite the positive Q1 results showing 30% growth, they are having a sell-off. And remember that patented technology. And then KOPN, they also had a sell-off. So, if people aren't risk takers and you are in KULR, we had KOPN, GEVO stayed decent. But PRSO, I don't know if people want to risk it coming into their earnings are supposed to be. KULR earnings are going to be on Thursday. So we will see how they rise from now until then. Because they have the Bitcoin. They're holding all this Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is bumping right now. So that's going to help them. And then you could say that all of this AI infrastructure investment, because they have the one deal with the Taiwan company where they're working with the robotics AI expansion. All this stuff is big. And AI is going to have no regulation anymore. This one, EDOM technology. So they're over in Taiwan working with this AI supply chain. It could do something with this, right? EDOM is a long-standing NVIDIA channel partner, and they're using their Curl 1, the zero vibe, that's to decrease the heat and the vibrations. So KULR, they are very poised. I don't know. It'd be tricky. You could sell half, I guess, before the earnings and see what happens, but they're looking nice. Another penny stock. They don't have earnings coming up, but OPTT, certainly on a rise. And I talk about them a lot because I really like them. And they have these WAMVs. This would be these power buoys for like surveillance and like scoping the ocean, doing stuff with the weather, all sorts of things. And I'm almost positive they have a UAE partnership, but I could be wrong because they never really announced it. But they have done lots of different exposés in Abu Dhabi. And there's an interview of the CEO, Philip, saying how he was meeting with them. So these demonstrations, I think they led to a deal, because if you look them up, it'll say OPTT. One of their deals from like April was an undisclosed partner for an undisclosed amount. So I think that the Arab monarchs are very interested here. Awarded a contract to provide multiple unmanned surface vehicles for international defense. We don't even know what it is. And then they had also sold some buoys to Latin America. So these, I think this is another one. OPTT, very poised. I just hope that OPTT doesn't freaking do a reverse split and ruin. Well, I guess if you hold a lot of it, because for the longest time they were at 15 cents. So that one, another interesting. And then here's a speculation. I think Aora, I think they're going to have something too, because Uber is already. We have Dara over there. Uber, Saudi Arabia. They're going to have their self-driving cars. What is to stop them from also, Forum, AV cars to be seen in Saudi Arabia this year? I think that Aurora's drop, so Google offered these convertible notes up until like 2028 or whatever to raise money, but then it wasn't an immediate dilution. So, but I think that this was done in preparation for this forum on the AV cars. Wait, Uber tells Riyadh-based Forum AV cars to be seen in Saudi Arabia this year. And he's still going to be going to United Arab Emirates and Qatar. I think something big will happen to this. I don't know. I'm hoping. Because if their Uber plans to launch self-driving cars in Saudi Arabia in 2025, what's to stop it from also being trucks? Then, last but not least, certainly not least, Humasite had earnings this morning, trading higher after reporting better than expected Q1 EVS and adjusted EVS results. The total revenue, $517, and a net income, $39.1 million. You could say, Humasite, and they have their bioengineered veins. Well, technically, it'd be like grafts, because right now, grafts that hospitals use, garbage. So we have bioengineered vascular system generating its first commercial sales of 147. Total revenue was 517, including 370 from research and collaboration. That's big. That means that other companies are very interested in Humasite and what they're doing. 46, they did that. That's out of the way now. And now, currently, 45 hospitals have initiated the Valve Analysis Committee approval process for SymVest, representing 25% of all level 1 trauma centers. Would you not think that is a lot when they just got the approval in December? I think things are moving swiftly for Humasite. And we have 5 commercial sales achieved. That one, 45, and then, and then reduced workforce by 31 employees. That's not always a bad thing. Unfounded negative press. Fuck that noise. High cost of goods sold. Okay, well, that would be. And, all right, increased G&A expenses. But they also, this is not their only thing. This is not even, Laura's not done, okay? Laura, she's the baddest bitch in biotech industry, and she's going to do a lot. I know she is. I really do. You have... when they're going to talk about the coronary artery bypass grafting, dude, that's going to be next level. And the achievement of 84 patient enrollment in their V012 phase 3 dialysis trial, plans to file a supplemental BLA in 2026. So that's a long ways away. But we know Marty McParty at the FDA, Marty McParty, he's down to party. We'll see. I think this part, wait a minute. Military treatment facilities represent another strategic target market given Synvest's development history with military funding and its application in battlefield trauma scenarios. The imminent listing in the electronic catalog will facilitate government purchasing. That is what we're all waiting for. And then Humacyte becomes a Palantir of biotech. It will be huge, really big. I think Humacyte, I think they're going to do it.